Today's verse of the day. Psalms chapter 56, verse 3. When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. There's gonna be moments on your journey when God is just the only option. When there's no other way for you to get over a certain hump without God's blessing, without his ability to make the unthinkable things happen. So you have to have unwavering faith and unwavering confidence that God is with you, he's on your side, because he is, and understand that no matter what happens, whatever the outcome is, you have to be content with it. You have to be okay if things don't go your way. You have to be okay if things do go your way. Take the good with the bad, and don't think that whenever bad things are happening to you that it's really bad. It might feel bad, but it's not gonna always be bad. It's gonna change over time. You just have to be patient. You have to wait, and you have to continue to pursue. You have to continue to persist, continue to work for the things to change, and over time it will change because God will see it fit. It's just like in the book of Genesis with Joseph. He put Joseph through all these different obstacles, all these different issues with family, being thrown in jail, to becoming the second in command underneath the emperor, and being a ruler of a world that he had no part in for years. So you just have to keep that faith and that confidence in God's will for you to overcome your challenges. With that being said, let's get to the charts. All right, you guys, here we have the Monday chart loaded up on the SPY, ticker symbol SPY, on the 5-minute time frame. As you guys see, we opened at 686, but we failed that 686 level, going right into the beginning of the day, going all the way back down to 683.5, where we then saw continued failure, going lower. I ended up taking a position here off of this 682.5 retest. It was actually a trend line going down with the downtrend, and I ended up getting a position here where we then caught continued failure back down into 680, where I then took profits at 680. We went a little bit lower from there, but we bounced from 680 essentially, and then we went back to this level where we then saw another rejection, closing out the day around 681. So yeah, that was Monday. Very sharp decline coming into the market initially on the beginning of the week. Let's move on to Tuesday. We have the Tuesday charts loaded up once again on the SPY charts, ticker symbol SPY. On the 5-minute time frame, we opened our day out around 680.5, which was a little bit below where we closed. However, we were getting some rejections once we were getting above that orb high, back below it. Once we were trying to retest 681, we couldn't get above 681, so we started to see some failure kick into the market. After this candle right here, I then took a position going into the rejection of 680. I used that candle high as a stop loss, where I then saw a quick move down all the way down to 678. We saw a quick move down to 678, where I then took profit. We ended up getting some continuation back to the downside after failing this orb low, where we then saw a little reversal come in at 676.5, retesting that 679 level. We then got another entry around 679.4, getting another rejection back down to the lows of 676, taking more profits, and then trying to get this break below 676 essentially was what I was looking for. We ended up finally getting it after retesting the level once again. However, I did not capitalize off this move. Unfortunately, I stopped trading at this time. I did, however, see the move come back down to the demand of 675, where I then took a position to go to the upside, which I caught a baby position on there, getting this push back into the orb low of the day, pushing back above that orb low after retesting 675 again, and then we close out the day at 678.6. So a very, very wide range day from 681 all the way down to 675. Very happy with the execution on this day. Let's move on to Wednesday, talk about what we did Wednesday. All right, y'all, here we have the Wednesday charts loaded up. Currently loaded on the ticker symbol AAPL, Apple. We have the 5-minute time frame loaded. We were right on our conviction for the downside move. However, we were early and impatient. Let's talk about it. So initially, we got into this play right after we saw rejections come in at this 276 level. From there, we saw some downside movement down to 275. I took some profits, but I was still holding majority of my position, just simply due to the fact that I wanted to see a break below 275, because 276 was our previous demand level. So if we got a break below 276, we had nowhere else to go other than 270 to 272. So that was my ideal target. However, we range bound, like I said, from market open all the way till 9:45. And I stopped out of this play after the previous retest of this candle here at 9:40. And as soon as I stopped out, y'all, it literally went right back down to the 275 and then broke 275 the very next candle and went back lower. I could have got a re-entry, but at this time I ended up moving on entirely to a whole nother play, which I made money on, which was Palantir. So let's pull up Palantir and talk about that trade. So Palantir was my banger of the day. I wish it was Apple, but unfortunately we just got caught in the wrong time movement, and then the move ended up happening after the fact. So here's Palantir, and as I said, we stopped out at 9:40. So we caught this entire move from the 185 to 180, 150 on Palantir after rejecting back below the orb low. We got closure below the orb low, then we saw a continued failure back below the orb low, and we used that simple high of the candle that we got in at 185 as our stop loss. We then saw the downward movement all the way down to 181.5. I took profits, got into calls, caught a quick reversal move back to 183, sold there. I could have taken more puts, but I didn't. I ended up getting into SPY, and we took another continued reversal, another leg down on SPY on Wednesday. So let's load up the SPY chart. So boom, here we have the SPY charts. I believe it was about 10 o'clock when I got this play. It was a retest of the 675. So I saw the retest happening at 675 after we got this reversal off of 673. However, we were downtrending on the day for SPY, and I noticed that we were approaching the EMA indicator and also reapproaching that previous demand level of 675. So I took puts off the 675 retest using that high of the candle as a stop loss, where we then saw a continued rejection all the way back down to new all-time lows for the day, which was 673. Took full profits. We got a retest again. I didn't get it. We continued to go down lower. Closed the day at 671 or some change. Very, very good execution on the day. Only play I missed out on was Apple, and I was so upset because it ended up going down to my target price instantly. That's just a part of the game sometimes. Sometimes it takes a lot of time for your plays to work out, and sometimes it takes a little time for your plays to work out. Bottom line is you have to be patient in your conviction and what you're trying to do. And then ideally it didn't hit my stop loss, but it was just the choppiness of the price action and the possibility of it hitting my stop loss for me to stop out of that trade entirely and just move on, because I saw way better setups like Palantir and SPY moving a lot better than Apple was at the time. So sometimes that's just how the dice rolls. You gotta take your chances, and when you take your chances, they might work out and sometimes they might not. But bottom line is, take the chance. As long as you take the chance, you're setting yourself up for success, nonetheless. With that being said, let's move on to Thursday. We had a bigger play on Thursday. If you guys want more tips and tricks about day trading and investing, make sure to click the link in the bio, www.continuebelief.com. I share a lot of free resources and tools, tips and tricks about how to day trade, how to get started investing, and so much more. So make sure you guys check out the link in the bio. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to leave a like and follow. And yeah. All right, you guys, here we have the Thursday charts loaded up. Currently, we're loaded on the Tesla charts, ticker symbol TSLA. 5-minute time frame. As you guys see here, we had a wide range move. As you guys see here, we had a wide range move on Tesla from 273 all the way back up to, we had a wide range move. As you guys see here, we had a wide range move from 473 all the way back up to 490.8. We caught the move from the open all the way to 482 because that was the previous high of the day. We took full profits there. We did not look to get continuation entries just simply due to the fact that it was just running super aggressive. But we were able to catch this move from the 473.9 entry price, taking profits at the 479 level, getting a re-entry at 475, and then getting a continuation move back into the all-time high of 482. From there, we took full profits, and then, as you guys see, it continued to run. So we missed out on some major gains, but we did make a lot from just that move in itself, because that was already a $10 move in itself. So I wasn't upset about it at all. I was very happy with my execution. I had took profit, re-enter, took profit, re-enter. So I was not upset at all, but I definitely would have enjoyed making that remainder of the move happen if I was able to capitalize on that. That would have been pretty cool. But yeah, it was a very easy going day for this particular trade. And yeah, that's really it. So let's move on to Friday. All right, and here we have the Friday charts loaded up on the Meta charts, ticker symbol META. As you guys see here, we had some downside movement after opening the bell, failing that 669.4 level. We saw some sharp failure come in pretty much instantly once the market opened. We then got a bounce from 661, but we couldn't get back above 665. So as I saw a failure of 665, I then looked for an entry. I ended up getting in after the second failure of 665 and opening at the 663 level. Using that 665 level as a stop loss, I added at 664, and we then saw a sharp rejection back down to 661, taking most profits there. We then got continuation down lower, going down to 659.7, where we then saw a reversal come in and the market pretty much reclaimed its levels and rejected once again later on in the day. Everything else that I did that day, I was pretty much just scalping because it was quad witching, which means you have a lot of volatility in the market because of contracts expiring on a particular day. And so I just used a lot of light size on the rest of my trades that I took. It was a lot of scalps in SPY. I believe I took NVIDIA, Apple, and Palantir. And so my main play that I did was Meta. Everything else that I did was mostly scalps. So those are the trades for the week. Overall, a really good week. Cash flow was moving really well after getting rejections off of the 686 level from SPY, going down to 680, failing 680, going down to 675. Overall, really good price action. Cannot complain about the flow. Really good risk management, really good execution on the trade. So I was very, very happy with my execution this week. Now let's move on and talk about the possible opportunities we have coming into this next week. All right, you guys, here we have the SPY chart loaded up, ticker symbol SPY on the 4-hour time frame. So as you guys see, we had a very, very wide range bound week this last week, rejecting that 686 level, going back down to 671. We then saw a reversal, kick back in, reclaiming that 680 level. What do we want to see happen going into next week? Given that we have a short week, there probably won't be a whole lot of movement, but I wouldn't take anything for granted. You know, there could be movement in the first 3 days, and now that we reclaimed the 681 level, the 680 level, our levels to watch are going to be that 680 level and that 685 level. I'm not gonna lie, I think that those are the levels to watch going into the same week. Given the time of the year it is, I don't think we'll see a lot more drawdown like we did this last week, because we had a lot of news and data come out last week. So now that we got the news and data out the week, there's not a lot on the table for, you know, to make the market move, unless there's some news that comes out that's unexpected. What they're not having a lot of news that's coming out, that just leaves room for the market to run, honestly. So the levels, like I said, are going to be 680 and 685. If we can fail back below 680, we can definitely see lower. However, if we hold 680, we can push back higher, going back into that 685 level. If we're able to get back above 685, we can see 690. And if we can break 690, we can then see closer towards 700. Going to the end of the year, I still think that that's possible. It just depends upon how much strength there is in the buyers and what kind of news is coming out. So those are my predictions going into this week. Again, this is a short week, so trade safe. Make sure you guys use your risk management, size appropriately. Do not size into trades that don't have a lot of conviction. If they have conviction, even if they have conviction, I would still say be careful, because this is the time of the year where they try to get back gains. They, being the market makers, try to get back gains and take people's money. So don't let them take your money, man. Just chill if you can. Spend time with your family. This is the time of the year to just relax. You know, don't force it. Don't overdo it. Trade safe and lock in. You know, lock in your gains and get ready for next year. Get ready for 2026. There's a lot of things in store. A lot of opportunity to be presented going into next year compared to now. We're at the all-time highs. Things are kind of slow, so don't force it. You know. But yeah, with that being said, you guys, it's your boy CB. If you guys are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and like and comment. Share this with 3 other people you know who like to invest and want to make money. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.